we're all kind of taking up space. And so a lot of times we go through our days without ever thinking about the space that we're taking up to, unless we have to. But when one Detroit artist is making us kind of actually think about it.
Yeah, the Lansing Art Gallery's most recent exhibition features artist Gerald Collins' work, Space Between, which asks viewers to pause and think about their relationship with space. So Claudia is going to tell us all about it. How are you, Clauds?
Yeah, so Gerald Collins is an artist who often works with light, space, architecture, all of those things to create a personal experience for those viewing his art. But what's interesting about this piece that you're about to see is that it makes you think about your spatial relationship, which, to be honest, was something I never thought of until I saw this piece. You'll see why. Take a look.
This month, we have an exhibition on display by an artist named Gerald Collins, who's an artist based out of Detroit. I would describe this particular piece behind me is a site-based installation. Gerald really thought through this particular space and how he wanted to transform it. One of the ideas that Gerald talks about in his work is our relationship to the spaces we find ourselves in. And I think what he was really trying to do with this installation behind me is just completely transform the way that people view this space. You know, Gerald talks about life and death or near-death experiences and meditation, and he's thinking about a lot of really interesting concepts when he's producing his work. I think one of the things that this piece makes me think about is like sunsets and moons. You know, you've got that circular theme, and I do think that's something that Gerald touches on in his artist statement and in some of his previous work. You know, we've got this light that's inside of the wall that kind of shifts a little bit in tone and is very visible from the street at night. It's so much more vibrant and intense color in the evening. If someone were to walk away from this exhibition, something I would love for them to take away from it is just how this artist has the ability to make them completely reimagine the spaces they find themselves in, and maybe even find themselves in other spaces and looking around themselves and just becoming more aware of their surroundings.
So when I looked at the piece, the first thing I thought about was actually ice, like ice chunks for like fishing and an Arctic sunset. And then the closer I looked, the more I thought about the space separating me from the art. And I can truly say it's like the first time I've ever thought about something like that. I was just entranced on the space separating me from the circle. And I think, you know, it really makes you think, and it was really great to look at.
How exciting. Well, it's really wonderful to learn about too, Claudia. And you guys at home can learn more about the piece and the artist at Lansing Art Gallery.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Claudia. Well, we are just getting started here on Studio 10. And as